What's up guys? So today we're going to be talking about the Blackmagic Pyxis camera. Now I had the opportunity to camera operate on a potential feature film called Hunter Grail, and I want to bring you along behind the scenes on this journey, talk about my experience using this camera, the image quality, but more importantly, some of its flaws that I found out. So without further ado, let's get started.
So we're on day one of this Western reboot basically, because we started this pre-pandemic. So what was that, like 5 years ago when we started this production, and at that time we were shooting with the Ursa Mini 4.6K sensor. We paired it with the Atlas Orions, and it's really cool because now all this time later, and we're on Blackmagic and Atlas again, but this time it's the Pyxis 6K, and this thing is like a third of the size, third of the price too, which is crazy. We just finished one of the most crucial scenes, and dang dude, that thing looks so good. It was low light, sun coming in, emotions in the actors. Dude, it's one of the best scenes I've seen just on set without even having to color grade or anything. Just straight out of camera, it already looks incredible. So I'm super excited to see how this continues to go. Loving the Pyxis because we're hiding it in little tents like this. We're putting it on horse rigs. We're running through the woods with it. So I know the camera operators prefer to do it with the Pyxis than the Ursa Mini. So yeah, a lot more coming to shoot here, so we'll see how it continues to hold up, but so far super happy with it, man.
The Blackmagic Pyxis form factor is something that we've been asking Blackmagic for many years, and I love the fact that they actually delivered on this box style camera. Here's the thing, even though we rigged it out, it was still very lightweight. I love the smaller form factor. I primarily used it on an easy rig, and I was running around, I was in this fight scene that we choreographed, and honestly I never felt like this camera was heavy. And of course a lot of this was attributed to the fact that we had the proper gear. We were using an easy rig, and shout out to my boy Chris from Blackbird Cine. They developed this thing called the Mantis, and it holds like 40 pounds, 50. I mean, this thing can hold a ton of weight, but for the Blackmagic, this is so easy. Look at this. I can let go. I can actually I can do a lot of different types of shots, but this is so comfortable. This works with an easy rig setup, and yeah, like operating with this is like a dream. Now, one of the things that I really enjoyed about this camera is its riggability options. I love the fact that I was able to adapt depending on the shooting scenario. In fact, I did an ultimate rig build on my channel. If you guys have not seen that video, I will leave it linked down below the like button. Now, I also wanted to talk to Adam Cramsey, who is one of our first ACs, to get his opinion on the riggability on the Blackmagic Pyxis, given the fact that he's always rigging out different cameras.
Yeah, I think this is definitely one of the most riggable cameras I've worked with. I think the way it's laid out, it really gives you a lot of options as to where you're going to attach things. You don't have like a bunch of dead areas you're trying to avoid. And even on this production, we have 3 different Pyxises rigged completely differently. We have one rigged for the car mount, where we have a much more stripped down build. And then we also have this. This is obviously our kind of like all the bells and whistles A camera. And then Mondo's camera was somewhere in the middle, is a lighter weight setup. But we've been changing as we go. Mondo had a smaller handle, and a lighter rig for the first couple days where he was kind of running and doing some second unit pickup things, but then we needed a little bit more grip, so we added a Hollywood handle on, and the accessories just work really smoothly. We're able to just pop things on and off. We're able to like change and try stuff out really quickly, and there's so many places to mount things. You could build the camera 100 different ways, and it's all really customizable based on what you need.
Now, before we talk about the image quality on the Blackmagic Pyxis, I do want to talk about today's video sponsor, Motion Array. Now, if you're not familiar with Motion Array, they have an incredible website with a bunch of assets where you can download sound effects, motion graphics, video templates. One of my favorite is the plugin section for Premiere Pro. They have a plethora of things, but something that is brand new is the fact that you can now use their voiceover AI tool, and it's so easy to use. Let me show you. So the first thing you want to do is go to Motion Array, head on over to the voiceover tab. Here you'll see a preview of different voice styles that you can select.
You can use a voice that sounds like this.
Or even a voice that sounds like this.
The choice is completely up to you.
Once you find the style that you're looking for, go ahead and type in what you want to narrate. Once you're done, hit generate.
And now you have a professional sounding voiceover, just like that.
By default, it sounds great, but here you can also tweak the sound. So if you want to change the speed or also the emotion, if you want something a little bit more dramatic, you have the ability to do that. Now, if you guys are not using Motion Array, I will leave a link down below in the description so you guys can try it out for free. Now, if you upgrade to the Pro and Everything annual plan, you will also get $50 off. Again, make sure you use my link down below in the description so you guys don't miss out on that deal. Now let's go ahead and talk about the image quality. And let me tell you, I was blown away with the quality of the image. Now, to get these type of results, I'm not gonna lie, of course you need a team. We had a very talented DP, Brady. Of course, we had an incredible crew, wardrobe department, art department, the incredible set in Montana. All of this attributes to having a beautiful image. But I do wanna show you guys this scene because this had no special lighting. We didn't even use diffusion. This was all naturally lit, and you can see how beautiful the color science is, how gritty, and just how gorgeous the quality is. The fidelity is just something that it just blows me away that we can get these type of results with a $3,000 camera. So Brady's our DP for this project, and I know you've been looking at all the images and stuff. What do you think of the Pyxis so far? I know we haven't color graded it, but from what you've seen on the monitor.
I haven't seen anything edited or on a big screen or on a computer, just what we've seen on feed here. But so far, I mean, it's holding well. I've always had faith in Blackmagic science, so I've never had doubts about it. I've been excited about the Pyxis since it came out anyway. So far, I've been impressed of how it holds. I'm a little curious of how it holds on the toe end, like in that shadow area, because Blackmagic is kind of notorious for that. But larger sensor, I think it'll be all right.
And we shot some low light stuff.
We shot a lot of low light stuff, so I'm excited. It looked good on the monitor.
And then, you know, a lot of people say it doesn't have built-in NDs and stuff like that. When you're on set, that's not even an issue. This is all things that,
See,
you know.
I love NDs for my run and gun stuff. FX6 is great for that.
Right.
But that's kind of a more dock style camera. If I'm getting a Pyxis, it's geared towards production. And if I'm on production, I've got an AC. I've got a matte box that I'm going to run anyway with diffusion and drop-ins anyway, so it makes no difference.
It's irrelevant.
So.
Now, guys, if you want to see more stuff on Blackmagic, Brady has an awesome video. Check it out. I'll leave a link down below in the description. So one of the things that people always complain about the Pyxis is like, why is it a big deal? It's just like a pocket 6K camera, right? In a box body. Here's why it's a big deal. Have you guys ever heard of the Lotus Elise? It's kind of like a sports car, but it has a Toyota Celica engine. So a lot of people are like, well, it's a Toyota Celica. It's kind of boring, right? It's not the same, because as soon as you put that engine into a different platform, it changes the whole dynamics. Same thing with the Pyxis. The fact that it's in a box style body changes the whole entire workflow. Just like the Lotus Elise, it's such a fun, it's like a completely different car. It is not a Toyota Celica. Same thing with this. This is not a Pocket 6K. The Blackmagic Pyxis isn't perfect, and it does have some notable flaws that many people have already brought up, and I want to talk about them. The first one being the biggest one, the rolling shutter. Now, I often ask people, rolling shutter for the average person, like if I ask my wife, if I ask friends who are not in the industry, they probably don't even know what it is. And if they've seen a movie, they probably didn't even notice it. Rolling shutter is one of those things that I feel has been blown out of proportion because of like tech filmmaking YouTubers. Honestly, like I ask people, what are you filming? Are you like whip panning all day long or anything like that? We filmed the whole entire movie with running scenes. We filmed an entire movie with freaking fighting scenes. Rolling shutter was not a big deal. Also, I've seen many films from like Michael Bay and other big directors that have rolling shutter in them, and nobody's batting an eye. I'm sure some nerd out there is saying like, look at this movie, there's rolling shutter. So rolling shutter is not a big deal. Not to mention, there's also software like DaVinci Resolve that can help mitigate that. So again, rolling shutter is something that I feel is always blown out of proportion, not only with the Pyxis cameras, but other cameras that have it. The other thing that people are talking about is the side monitor. The side monitor to me was great. There was a lot of times where I actually felt it was very useful. However, I do wish they would have made it swivel, that you can tilt it out. It would have just added more functionality. Having it fixed to the side of the camera is okay. I just wish that I had more functionality with it. But again, I still found it very useful. But honestly, this probably bugged me more than anything else. All right, so here's something that I'm not a fan of. So I like this lock button, right? Because it prevents me from like accidentally touching the screen or pushing buttons. The problem is if I hit record, see, nothing happens. Same thing, if I unlock it and I hit record and then lock it, I can't stop recording. I hope they can fix that with a firmware update. It would be nice that the record button does not, you can't lock it with it, or maybe even a setting that you can go in there and say the lock button also locks the record button, but hopefully they can fix that with a firmware update. Now, besides the minor flaws, if you even want to call them that, the Pyxis is such an incredible camera. And again, for its price point, anybody looking to get into filmmaking, I think this is going to be a great first camera. Now, what I'm hyped about is our film that we're doing here, Hunter Grill. We got through this first leg, or actually it's the second leg, and we want to get the rest funded. Now, if you guys want to help out, check out our Indiegogo campaign. If you guys want to be on set, there's a lot of different perks that you can purchase. And honestly, even if you donate $1, we can get through the next part. And the reason we were able to film the second part is because of our set sponsors, Hollyland and OWC. So for this production, we're using the Pyro S from Hollyland and also the Pyro 7 monitor. When we shot No Good Legend, I became a fan, and I'm super excited that we're actually using it for this production also. So this is actually my personal rig. You can see we have it rigged up here to the side. This is the Pyro S that's sending the feed over to our first AC, who's going to be pulling focus for the Pyro 7. Now we're also using the Solidcom C1 Pros. This is for all of our communications. Been working out really great, no issues. So yeah, shout out to Hollyland for hooking us up with all of this beautiful gear. Also, OWC hooked us up with all of the CF Express Type B cards on our Pyxis cameras, and also all of the drives. And one thing is, their drives are incredibly fast. I wish I would have got a sound bit from my DIT department, because they were saying, how is this thing so freaking fast? Like, the transfer speeds are incredible. So if you're someone that values time and is looking for super fast data transfer speeds, go check out OWC. Again, I will leave links to all of the products that we talked about them down below in the description. Guys, there's gonna be more Pyxis content coming soon, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you guys don't miss out on future notifications. My name is Armando. Thanks again for watching, and you will catch me in the next one. Adios.